Hi, good evening. So if you are hopping on, say hi, give me a like, give me something. The more people that react, the more people get notified that we are live and we are going. So welcome. Hello, welcome to our masterclass. Wednesday night. How is everybody? Caroline, hi lovely. Cheers to you. Tell me what you're drinking. What is your poison tonight? Yeah, if you're hopping on, please say hello. Tell me where you are. Tell me if you've got a drink. I have mine. I might not tell you what it is. Look in my luxury plastic cup. Still very much work in progress with my kitchen, so hence plastic still. I don't know where the glasses even are now. Hi Pixie, lovely to see you, lovely to meet you. Jackie, hello. Rosé, very nice. Yeah, it's a good choice. I like a rosé on a warm day. It's been alright today. It's midday, Pixie. Well, do you know what? It's 8 o'clock for us, and it's like totally wine o'clock. You could have a little beer with your lunch, couldn't you? Where are you, Pixie? Tell us where you are. Where is it midday? I've got no idea. I'm not very good with time zones. How is everyone? How was your Wednesday? It's Wednesday already. It's like the 1st of July. How did July creep up on us? My goodness. I don't know. I really don't know where July just sort of suddenly appeared from. And it's gone rainy and horrible, hasn't it? It was cold this morning. It was all right this afternoon. I'm filling while you join. So tell me something about you. Let's see how quick the comments are going to come up, because I need you to be telling me things through this. I need you to be saying, giving me some love. Just knowing that I'm talking to somebody feels so much better. And yeah, if you've got a drink, if you've got a cup of tea or you've got something, Fiona, hi lovely. Tell me what you've got in your. I've got beer, Stella. That's what I've got. Nicaragua. I nearly couldn't say it. Nicaragua. That sounds divine. I bet it's lovely and warm there. Fab. Well, welcome, Pixie. It's lovely to have you here. Right, shall we start? I don't want to keep you any longer. So, we've got some exciting content. Have you got a notepad ready? Hi, Michelle. Tea. She's got tea. Tea and a biscuit. Tea and chocolate or just tea? So today we are covering client attraction. So as we went through last week before last, Kirsty, hi, I bet you've got tea as well, haven't you, lovely? Bet you have. So all the time we were going through the challenge, there were lots of things that I wanted to include, didn't include, and this was one of them. So I thought, you know what, I'll just do a totally separate on this. And through the various conversations I've had with lots of you, through then the days after that, it's clear that there's a concern about where you're going to get these clients from, and actually not having huge budgets to put. You found us live. Well done, Deborah. Not having huge budgets can often be a concern, because when you're first starting out, you're trying to sort of establish that cash flow. You want cash coming in with clients paying you to do what you do, and then you're going to be able to spend, you're going to be able to invest, you're going to be able to do more with that. It's a natural flow. Money flows in, money flows out. That's how it works. But until money starts flowing in, it's very difficult in your mind, if nothing else, to start committing to money going out. And I totally get that. And I think I've shared with you before that actually when I first started my business, I took on a view that was very much I'll treat it like my own personal finances, which is a little bit risk averse. And I was quite sort of, I need to have this in place before I do that, and this in place before I do that. Actually, business is different, and you need to let that money flow in, flow out. So what I thought I would do tonight with you is just to talk about how we can get clients starting to flow towards us without spending a huge amount on marketing, because we've all seen it. We've all scrolled through our Facebook feeds, and you've seen these ads that just seem to perpetually come up, and they're obviously people spending, and it varies as to what they might have spent and how much they've got available as to how many times you see it. But that is paid advertising. There's obviously advertising throughout all sorts of different channels, but here we are on Facebook, hence I default to talking about that actually Facebook advertising can work really, really well, but you need money behind you. So today we are going to cover off how to attract those clients without spending, and not just looking at Facebook as well, to look at actually different areas of where they might be hanging out. So there's a couple of things that I want to just sort of cover off really, really quickly, because there's certain assumptions that I'm going to make as we go through this bit, because I can't do the full end-to-end entire business plan with you now in this time. So I'm going to have to sort of make a few assumptions, so I'll tell you what those are so that we can just concentrate on that client attraction bit. Now, clearly there's other pieces of work to do. It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle, isn't it? Or as I used the analogy recently, it's like a Lego model building a business, and lots of those pieces have to be put together to make the whole thing kind of make sense and make it work in one go. But we are literally just going to talk about this one piece, the client attraction bit, because do you know what? If you manage to get this right, even if it's I've got it right a few times and I've sort of feel like I've hustled, but I've got some clients coming in, then you're going to start that flow of the money, and you're going to start building that business so you can invest and you can build it from there. So one of the first assumptions we are making is that you have a product or service already defined, as in you know what you're going to do. You're not joining us now going, well, I think I'd like to do something or other working for myself, but I'm not really sure what it is. I hope this is going to answer that. It's not. I'm assuming already that you have got a good idea about what it is you want to do. So tell me in here what it is you're going to do. Obviously, I don't need like a pitch. I just need a vague understanding of who am I talking to. You know, what are you looking to offer those people that we're looking to attract? Because the more I know about you and you give me some context, I can probably pull on those to give you some examples as we go through this. So tell me what your product or service is. Just a few words, obviously not loads of detail. So while you're doing that, I'll tell you the other assumption. We're also assuming that you know how you're going to sell it as well, because that's like the end of the piece, isn't it? You're going to need to sell your thing. So you've already got a good idea around, Caroline, you are always first. You've absolutely got like the quickest broadband ever. Coaching and training, that's what you're going to provide. Fabulous. I know how to talk about coaching, so that's a bonus. The third assumption we're going to make, hello Monica, is that you have an offer created. So this might not be like the thing that you're going to live with forever, but you've got a good idea of both what your business looks like, but what you're going to actually offer to people. So you know that you're not going to just sort of get people on the phone and go, I think I can sell you this. You've already got that kind of vague picture around what you're going to offer. Deborah Coaching, lovely. There's a theme. Life coaching primarily aimed at empty nesters. Yeah, not me. I'm watching my children out through this window, trying not to get distracted. They're hooning around in the street still. You can tell it's the summer months, can't you? Okay, so as long as you know those things, and actually, do you know what? If you haven't got that clear view, because there's only 3 of you answered, if you're thinking, well, I just know I don't like what I'm doing, I want to do something else, then I have got I guess I call it my sort of entry level course, which is like a mini 2-part course, which helps you get a little bit clearer on what you might want to offer. So it asks you questions about what your preferences are and how to really get yourself started. But that's assuming that you're really, really starting from ground zero. Like you just know you don't want to stick with what you're doing right now and you want to work for yourself. So anyone interested in that, drop me a note and I can give you some more details on that. That's only £49, by the way. 2 quick modules, and you can get really, really clear on what it is you think you want to do, start formulating some ideas about that, and get some plans in place to start building on it. Quick course, you can do it in a couple of days. Okay, right, so we've got that. We're going to look at this like food. I used a food analogy today, and not for any particular reason. I'm not overly hungry. Okay, so we've got 3 courses to our meals. Maybe it's because we're all going to be allowed out for our meals out soon, and we're going to be able to have like a starter and a main course and a dessert. Which is your preference? Tell me. Mine's the dessert all the way. I'd skip the main if I knew I could just go straight for dessert. Often would just go straight for dessert. Okay, so your starter is what we just talked about. That's like your foundation stuff. You know what you're going to be providing. You've got a good idea around what it is you're going to offer, and you've kind of started to get those foundational pieces in place. That's your starter. So we're diving in to the main course. Pudding all the way. Pudding, it's interesting. Pudding, not dessert. That implies a different type of dessert, actually. See, I'm pretending to be posh. I'm not at all. Far from it. Starter. Oh, Jane's a starter. No, Deborah Jane, sorry. Deborah, you're a starter. You've been known to have a starter and a pudding without a main course. Yes. I knew I liked you for a reason. Okay, right, so your main course is your client attraction piece. And do you know what? We're going to do a Kirsty, and we're going to go straight for pudding. Yes. So I'm going to miss main, because that is the meat of it all. That is the fundamentals, because I'm going to talk about pudding first. Now, your pudding is sales. So what does that do to you? What does the word sales and selling, what does it do? What does it spark? Is it that, yes, can't wait to get into those sales? Or is it a, not really totally funky with sales? What does that do to you? Because, do you know what? Like it or loathe it, you are going to have to sell. And it doesn't matter whether you're providing coaching, whether you're providing a service, whether it's going to be a physical business, doesn't matter. There is an element of selling in every single business. That is what keeps that commercial world flowing. It's what keeps the cash going. Someone has to buy something that somebody else is selling. So in terms of sales, you're going to have to get comfortable with it. I need to turn a page already. We've done a page. Now, being able to know that you're selling at the right time needs to have had all the other bits in place first. You don't mind selling it, it's how to target them. Yeah, so isn't it? And when you know you're having a conversation with somebody that is the right person, and that you know you can help that person, it almost doesn't feel like sales. And you know, there's a phrase, isn't there, that selling is serving. And if you can get yourself in that place of saying, so as long as I know that what I have to offer gives that person value, I know that I can help them. As long as I know that they are the right person, then if I don't sell to them, I'm doing a disservice. I'm not allowing myself to help them. They're not then seeing the benefit of what I can bring to them. So if you don't sell when it comes to it, then literally you're just missing that piece for them. And it's knowing that you've done all the other pieces. It's knowing that you've got the foundation right. It's knowing that you've proved your credibility, that you've proved your worth. You know that what you can do is going to help them. Once you've done all that, actually the selling is just like a nudge over the line, isn't it? It's just that final close. So you've got your 3 courses. So let's go back to the all-important client attraction then. Okay. So what are you doing at the moment? What is your sort of go-to? If you've already tried this, if you've tried to bring clients towards you and get your business out there, what have you done? Let's start to find out what people have tried already. While I just scroll back and read some of these. Pudding, yeah, love it. I love watching. I reread all these comments, and it does make me smile that we have some total randoms sometimes. Don't mind selling, but it's how to target them, yeah, as in where to find them, yeah, target them, and you need to connect to them. Rima, hi, popped on late, hi. Okay, so Fiona, you're doing LinkedIn posts at the moment. Okay, there's 1. I haven't counted how many I've got, by the way. I should have counted how many different methods I've got. I've got nearly 20. So come on, what are you trying now? What are you doing now? LinkedIn posts, Monica, connect and invite, content. Oh, you see, look at you getting all them in. Connect, content, calls to action, group nurture, yeah, loads. Okay, Deborah, are you a Deborah? You better tell me, otherwise I'm gonna grate on you. If you're a Debbie or a Debs, or if you shorten, then tell me. Otherwise you're Deborah. So you're lost, posting all over social media, set up a business page and a Facebook group. Okay, it's good. Kirsty, joined Facebook groups where I think I might find people who would benefit from my service. Remote connecting on social media. Who are your target market? It's time consuming. Yeah, it is time consuming. Slow. Yeah, and it's a bit you feel when you're just posting and people aren't reacting to it in like any way, it just feels like you're talking to yourself, doesn't it? And it can feel then really demotivating. Reaching out to people who maybe, so an external contact. Connecting locally with small business owners. Pixie, what is your business? I don't think you told us. I know lots of the others from our challenge recently, so what are you looking to do, Pixie? That'll help me. Oh, you don't mind? Oh, okay, fine. Who knows what will come out then? Working referrals. Oh, Rosia. No, hang on. It's back to front. Zosia. Again, if I've badgered that pronunciation, I'm very sorry. Zosia. Lovely to have you here, and don't worry at all. Connect with service providers and network groups. Okay, so that's very much an industry specific thing. Yeah. Okay, right. So we've probably got in there maybe 10, maybe 8 or 10. So there's lots. There's like countless ways. However, before we start diving into just getting out there and just sort of putting something out there, well, what do you put? Do you put, here's me, this is what I do, please come and join me, like me? Rather than doing that, there is some steps that are crucial. Graphics designer, digital. Okay, cool. Right, that gives me some context. Thank you. So before you do the whole, right, I'm just going to go out there, it's really important to get the message right, because otherwise you're just sort of shouting, and let's be honest, there's a huge amount of noise on social media, on any social media, I don't care which one you're on. It's just the volume of stuff, and particularly over recent weeks and months when more and more people they're on their machines, they're on their phones, they're scrolling, they've got more time, and there's something like 200 meters of scrolling that people do on average. Imagine laying that out and all those posts. So there's a whole heap of stuff that people just scroll past. It just doesn't hit with them at all whatsoever. So you have to know that your content is going to stand out. Otherwise, it is just another post about another thing that's the same. I've seen all that before. So the way we do that, and this is absolutely your foundational element, it's all about your ideal client. So it's about being really clear, not like, well, I'm happy to serve anyone who'll pay me. It's about knowing who you want to work with, to the point where you can give them a name, where you can go, okay, they are a 45-year-old man working in a marketing role. He lives in a 3-bed semi and so and so. So, you've got it right down. And beyond that, what makes them tick as well. So that they like doing certain things in their spare time. That they have particular, perhaps political beliefs, that they feel strongly about certain things and not so strongly about other things, that they might be vegan, they might be... So profile them to the point of being a person, just one person, not, well, I'm aiming at my stuff and women between 25 and 50. Well, who's that? I fit in that category. Are you talking to mums? Are you talking to specifically non-mums? Are you talking to somebody who goes and works in an office every day versus working at home? The reason we do this, and the reason why this is so critical to your message resonating with those that you want to talk to, is that it touches them like a person, like they matter. You understand, you've thought about what it is going on in their lives, and therefore how and why you should be able to help them. And coaching is, it's almost easier than something which might be perhaps a more generic service that would apply to lots of people. If you want to coach someone, you've got to be able to understand them. You've got to be able to relate and have empathy with the issues that they are struggling with. Otherwise, people don't sort of know that they need that help. So understanding that person's current position in their life right here and now, before they've even decided they need your help, that's where the crucial part comes in. So it goes into things like their interests, as I say, their likes, their dislikes, whether or not they use different social medias, what they might wear, what they might do with their spare money. Do they like to holiday? Do they have trips out? You know, really get to grips with it, because when you know them as a person, you can then go to the next level, which says, I now know that that person is struggling with this particular problem. And when you know they struggle with this particular problem, then you can start to say, I totally recognise that this is a thing for you, this is a problem, and what I now bring is my thing, look, and I solve your thing. You already have connected with that person. Monica's given me loads of love. Give me some likes, give me some loves if this makes sense to you. And think about it as being on the receiving end of it, not as a marketer or as somebody looking to take your message out. Think about how it feels to receive those types of messages, and that sense that you're understood and that you're able to then connect with that particular brand. It makes you feel different than if you just see something really woolly, really fluffy, and it just, you know, it would frankly be relevant to my husband just as much as it would be relevant to me. I want to know that I'm totally understood, because people that are understood will buy, and that beyond anything else has to be your motivation. I have to feel understood. I have to feel like you understand where I am right now. I have to know that you understand what my concerns or my issues are, and then I will probably start to look at, well, can you help me, and how can you help me? Why would you help me? Is it possible that you could help me? But I already need to know that you get me, because if you don't get me, how on earth are you going to help me? And coaching is the, you know, there's never more true than that. But Pixie, exactly the same for you. You need to understand what the challenges are for that person that you're looking to work with. And it doesn't matter whether you're looking to work with a business or an individual. It is always a person. Always, always, always. There is a decision maker in that process that is an individual. So if that person's dealing with a corporate responsibility or a particular role in an organisation, it's still about them, because frankly, everyone only cares about themselves. Yes, they probably want to do a good job for the business they work for, but do you know what? If that business went bust overnight, they'd be dropped like a stone. It's more about them. So is their challenge more like the way that they're performing their role? Are they able to get job satisfaction? Are they able to go home at the end of the day and go, oh yeah, I've done a great job today. I feel good about what I've done. I've made my life easier. It's not as stressful. All of those things still are true, even if it is to an organisation. Is this making sense? Monica is the only one giving me any hearts or any likes. Okay, so the next thing is about what do they want. So you know who they are now. They're a person. They have a name. They have a persona. What do they want? Where do they want to get to? What's the thing that you're going to be able to help them with? And you have to know that really specifically. And thank you. I'm seeing these likes now. You have to know that on an emotional level. So I care much more, as everybody does, about something which is going to hit me in the emotional side. I'm not so bothered that if I buy let's say a cleaning product. I like cleaning. Oh, thank you, lovely. Let's say I buy a cleaning product because I like cleaning. This is on my mind. I have a very dusty house right now while my kitchen is being done. I will relate to that much more because of the way that it'll make me feel, as opposed to it'll probably just do the same job that all the other cleaning products would have done. But if in their message to me they can convey the fact that I'm going to feel better because I know I've done a good job cleaning that thing, because it's going to be, you know, smear free, and it'll have been really quick, it'll be antibacterial, and I know now that I can rest easy knowing that it's clean now. If you can get to the point of finding that emotion in what you do in terms of what they want, and not, do you know what, they might not even know this is a really weird thing. So for some, depending on your product, your service, whatever it is you offer, these people don't even know that they need you yet. So they're wandering along in their normal life going, yeah, life's good, life's fine, I'm totally okay, cool with this. They've got these subconscious things going on, or they've got things that occasionally just sort of pop up and they start niggling them. You have to talk to that thing. You have to get into the, yes, but you know that the query in your mind could take you to this place, or, well, what if you didn't deal with this thing and it got worse and worse and worse? That is the thing you have to talk to, not the here and now and, yeah, I'm fine with it. It's okay, it's not ideal, but, you know, I'm living with it. It's okay. You have to get to the ultimate desire, and it has to be on an emotional level. So let's get you to do some typing then. So who knows what their emotional level is? So I know I'm trying not to ask you this in the same way that you all just put the same as you did before. So there is something that you're going to provide, a feeling that you are going to help that person achieve. What is it? Through what you provide, what is the feeling, the emotion, not the practical? I don't want to know the practicalities of it. What is the emotion that what you're going to provide is going to do for that person, that one individual, your Peter, your Pauline, whoever they are? Tell me what that feeling is while I have a slurp my beer. How's the rosé? Anyone that joined later, actually, we did a quick drinks round to find out what everyone's got. I think we've had tea, we've had rosé, we've had a couple of teas. Mine's beer in a very luxurious blue plastic cup. It's grim, isn't it? Not long to wait. Right, come on, tell me, what's that emotion? Deborah's saying you. It's all gone quiet. Okay, Caroline, of course, first. Deeper connection with their child or children. Nice. Yeah, so that's going to be a very much more of a fulfilling. Look, they all just whiz through now. It's like there's a blockage and then one comes. A self-rediscovery. Ramona, love for themselves. Beautiful. Yeah, really important, isn't it? And, oh, you've drunk your rosé already? So yeah, lots of different feelings, but brilliant. Okay, so let's. Reema's got now moving the business online. Yeah. Right. So the words are confidence. Whoa, that's a lot of words right there. I'm not going to read all of those. I know what you're doing. Overcoming fears. Yeah. So you've got lots of emotional things. Okay. So we've got we've built two aspects now. You've got your person, and you've got how you're going to make them feel. So two really, really crucial bits, because any content, any message you're trying to send out there that haven't got those two things clear are just going to be noise. They're just going to be scrolled on past because they're not going to touch me as your potential client. Deborah says rediscovery and transformation after a relationship. So rediscovery. So that is going to make them feel what? So if you can write that statement and I can say so what to it, you can go another level, you can go deeper. So what's that going to mean to them, Deborah? How's that going to transform their lives? Transformation into what? Transformation from a good place to a bad place to a good place, presumably, but to what? What's that going to mean? So what? Okay, there we go. Feel whole, self-worth, empowerment. Brilliant. Next layer. Fabulous. Right, so you've got your two elements. So that's who they are and what they want. Your third element, and this is before we've even got into the different routes. How are you going to reach them? It's not waffle, it's absolutely brilliant. I hope you make notes of what you write though, Rima. How are you going to reach them? So we've already put in some of those areas that you're using now, some of the ways that you're taking your message out. But let's go another level. Now we know a little bit more. We've thought about that person a little bit more. We've thought about the problem that they've got. Where are you going to go to find them, this person that you've now genuinely created? So to give you some ideas, are they online? Are they offline? Revolutionary, there is actually a world outside of the online world. They do exist in another plane somewhere. But do you know what? If they're existing in other fields, what can you do to sort of join in with that? So I'm not saying it's a leaflet drop or it's something kind of really old hat, but if there's something that they do that is in an offline world, then is there a way that you can sort of bring that in as well? Pride in their homes. Oh yeah, lovely. Yeah, so that makes us feel amazing, doesn't it? Being proud of proud of inviting somebody in. You feel proud of what you've managed to achieve and all of that. Yeah, pride's a good one. So where are they? Tell me where you think they are. So are they online, off they are? Where are they online? If they are, which let's admit it, most of them are, well, where? And how do you know where they are? So, you can age profile people by their preference around their social media, can't you? So are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Pinterest? Are they, I can't think of any more. Where do you think they are? Because you've probably gone to your default, but actually now we've got this new person. Is it the same as yours? So Fiona's definitely saying Facebook. Okay. So now this is another question then, while you're thinking, what else is there that could be associated with what you do that they might also be interested in? So I'm not saying it's necessarily in competition, but there's something else that they could be following, that they might be passionate about, that they might follow, that they're hanging out in that place as well. So I don't know, they might play golf, for example, and there might be, I don't know because I don't at all, but there's going to be huge congregations of people that are interested in golf. So your product might be nothing to do with golf, but if your person goes to the places where they're interested in, so therefore they're hanging out in golf forums, lo and behold, you found a little pool full of your ideal clients. So Instagram, I know that there's a lot of hurting people out there, but where are they? Facebook support groups, but these don't let you contact members or advertise your services. Okay, yeah, it's true. Yeah, do you know what? There's lots of hurting people in lots of different places. So that is why that's too broad. You can't just say, I help the people who are hurting, because, well, how do I know you're going to talk to me who's hurting compared to somebody else who's hurting compared to the next person? So if you define it really narrow and you know exactly what that person is, what they're interested in, then suddenly you've got other avenues that you can explore that says you can get in towards them a little bit closer. Singles groups, yeah, exactly. There could be a whole heap of stuff, but if you've decided that the person you're profiling is really into learning a different language or cooking or sewing, or there's something else about them, then you can go in those places rather than just sort of going straight for the direct hit, as it were. There's other ways, aren't there? You can kind of go round it and find other things that they're interested in. Women who are planning and getting married, yeah, there you go, brilliant. So singles groups, Facebook, Instagram, school, play areas, coffee shops, yeah. See, there's some more. So you can see how suddenly we had our original list, which you'd all got various from. Now we've started the grey matter going, haven't we? You've thought of some more already. People who are buying for yeah, brilliant, because that's all about that's the home thing again. Parents from your child's school, bang, yeah, totally. You've got a geographical restriction at some point when you're able to get people back together, haven't you? So yeah, absolutely, they need to be within a certain geographical space. Then yeah, look at something else that ties, something else. So that's about associated products or services. Now there could be that you could find something which really nicely complements what you do. Now I'm not saying that this is easy. None of this is supposed to be easy. That's why not everyone does it. Let's be clear. You're going to have to think about these things. So if you offer something in a certain particular niche and then someone else offers something which you know that your clients absolutely overlap, there's like a big pool of clients in the middle where you're coming at them from this angle and someone else is coming at them from this angle, then you can find a way to navigate and actually share those clients with one another. Now, I'm not saying it's here's all my list and here's all your list and let's just swap them, because that's probably not particularly ethical and people gave you information for your purpose, not to pass on. But if you can find one that complements what you do and you can join that group and you can start to get to know those people in there, then suddenly you've got another pool of people, rather than being really blinkered that, let's be clear, people don't wear labels, and Facebook is amazing at being able to identify people for different interests and preferences and all sorts of things beyond like your age and your family situation and your whatever. But what you can't do is find people's thoughts, not quite, not far off, but not quite. So like for me, I can't find people to advertise to or to profile to that level that says thinking about starting up a business or early days business idea. I can't, that doesn't exist, does it? So instead it's about understanding, well, what other elements in my ideal client profile can I look at? So are they mums? Are they, you know, are they interested in something else? Are they into fitness? Are they this? Are they other? So suddenly I've got other avenues to look at rather than just being blinkered on, yeah, but they have to be wearing this label that says this is the problem that they've got, because they don't always, as we've just said, they don't always wear the label, they don't always have it as that thing they're carrying around with them all the time. You're going to have to draw that out and make them realise that they do have a problem and you can help them with it. Okay, everyone's still with me. I'm going to have a slurp because now we are hitting, finally, we are hitting the, here's some ideas for some other avenues. Wedding planners and photographers. Yeah, you see there's loads of ideas. So by all means, come back and have a look at these, because there's lots of you that can share these ideas, and you know, you're coming up with loads just right here and now, and lots of you can use those. So absolutely go and take all these from the comments. Okay, so here's some ideas then. So when you take your message, you need to be sure that your message resonates with your ideal client, and that ideal client is the person you profiled. You know what they're going through at the moment, and you show that you understand it, like genuinely understand it, and you know that the thing that you do, whatever it is going to help them with the thing they're struggling with. So you've got that. You have written, let's say you've written 3 or 4 different pieces that clearly make that obvious, that you're connecting, you're identifying them. People can self-select as well. So when you write, you know, are you a male of 50 plus? And I go, no, I'm out. Okay, fine, I've moved on. But then suddenly the one that is, you know, are you a mum of 2? Are you a mum of 2 worried about your children's education? Oh, yes. Do you see, it's almost like it doesn't have to be as obvious as questions, but you've narrowed it down, so you're suddenly talking to the right people. And when you can talk to those right people, you're connecting with them emotionally. So now we're going to take that message, those messages, out to different places. So here are some ideas. Number 1, magazine articles. Now, it could be that your particular niche has specialist publications. Loads of them do. Like, there is a publication to pretty much cover every walk of life. Have you tried contacting them and saying, I do this, and I've written this really interesting piece about the thing that I do, or I've researched this recently and found this. Here's an interesting little bit of copy for an article you might want to run. Like, it might be, you know, a tiny little quarter column in something. It might be, you know, half a page. It might be a massive piece that you want to write and submit. But magazines are always looking to fill content. And if you find the right one and you approach them in the right way, here's something that I've done for you. So there's one, straight off. I'm not gonna dwell on these very long because there's loads of them. Permitted posts in groups. Now, someone's already said, Deborah, I believe, she's joined some groups where she's not permitted to post. That is not uncommon at all, because do you know what? The groups that allow people to post just willy-nilly are chaotic. I've joined many and left many in the past. It's just like some hideous free-for-all. It's like walking into a really old-fashioned market and everyone just hollering their heads off about their thing. There's no value to it, and do you know what? The only people in there are the people promoting. So you haven't got buyers in there anyway. So actually the best groups are ones that control the promotion, because it's people who are actually getting value from it rather than just having things thrown at them all the time. But there's lots of them that have like dedicated threads or dedicated days where you're allowed to post things, and in that case you need to catalogue those. So when you find those groups, if you find one that doesn't allow it, then there is still a point of being there. We're going to come back to that. But on the ones that do allow, keep a note, create a little table that says, right, Monday I'm allowed to post in that one, Tuesday I'm allowed to post in that one. Now, I'm not saying post the same thing every week, every day in all the same in each of the groups, but bear it in mind that you've got people that have common groups, so you don't want to just look like you're putting that in there and that in there and copying it over. But do you know what? The best groups are the ones that do limit it, so don't be put off by that. So let's expand on that. The way that you can still include what you do in the groups that absolutely do not permit it is to add value. Just go in, be there, be a person that responds to questions. So it might be that someone asks something just, has anyone had experience of this, this and this? Or does anyone know where I can this? If you already know, because of your profiling, that your ideal client is in there, it sort of doesn't matter whether you're answering the question of an ideal client or not, because loads of other people are going to see your comment. So let's say I went into a group that said, I support women in early days of establishing their business. So I went into another group that did the same, but I started answering questions, and people are going to start to see me. They're going to start to see that I can answer questions. I'm not suddenly promoting myself. I'm just answering the question. I'm being a human being. I'm being helpful. I'm adding value. I'm increasing my visibility. I'm increasing my credibility, my authority in my subject, so that you can just be. Now, the next crucial step with this, what happens then? So people, I'm not going to put you on the spot, Deborah. I don't know the answer to this. I absolutely haven't stalked you, by the way. The next thing that people do is go, oh, that's interesting. Or, gosh, they keep coming up. Well, who are they anyway? They click on your face and they go and look on your profile page. What does that say? Because you've attracted a potential client just by commenting. Now, you're not going to know this because you don't get the reports about who's clicked on you. But do they know instantly as they click on you what you do, how you do it, who you help, how you help them? Who can say, oh yeah, everyone knows. Because there's often two ways that you can join a group, and some don't let you join under your business profile. It can only be your personal profile. So you've got to make the whole thing tie up. It's got to be a continuous message throughout. So if, Deborah, you commented and I go, well, that's really interesting. I wonder what Deborah does. I'm going to go and have a look. Click on her. And if it's pictures of your kids and your dog and all your personal stuff that we've all, frankly, been used to posting on forevermore, it doesn't tell me anything about you as your business. So make sure that it's clear, and doesn't matter where I found you from, that people can see then what you want me to do. What do you want me to go into your group? Do you want me to go and have a look at your business page? How do I know what it is you do? So that's a real basic, and it's pretty quick to implement. Now, using your personal profile can feel a bit weird at first, but it's essential. If you've joined a group as your personal profile membership, then you're going to have to keep it on there, because that's where people are going to flow through. You've got links to your post. Brilliant. Yeah, fab. So it's just about keeping that up, because the more people see you, the more you start getting into their minds. There's often other things called follow trains. Now, there's two schools of thought around follow trains. So sometimes you'll see in these groups, I'll follow one if you follow, put your stuff and I'll follow. It's all like one for one, that if you put your group or your page in, that someone's then going to follow you and you have to follow them, and you can increase your visibility through that. But I often question whether or not it's the right people. Now, there's probably a mathematical equation that says once you get to a certain level, you're going to have hit the right people anyway. But you can end up with people in your group or following you that don't necessarily follow your ideal client. But do you know what? At first, particularly, if you just want your volume up, then they're a great way. So, you're allowed to post your group name, your page, whatever it is, and then you're supposed to then go and have a look at others and join other groups and things like that. So look out for those. Again, often in some of the groups, and it'll say follow train. They do them quite a lot on Instagram as well. A podcast. So a podcast is a great way of being able to share your content, particularly if you don't like the video thing, if you don't like doing this and talking to yourself like me. If you're better, more comfortable doing just an audio, then a podcast's a great way to quickly share some content. They don't have to be long. Some podcasts are like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but you can just record little snippets, and there's some great little apps that you can do it on your phone. You don't need any special anything. You can just decide what you're going to say, record it, upload it, and then start sharing it. So it's another way that people can hear your stuff, they can reach you. And if, again, you've got that action at the end, if you like what you hear, come and join my page. If you like what I hear, go and check my website. If you like this or you want to see more, subscribe to this, do the other. It's, again, another way of you being able to share your content. And you can also, of course, put the link to your podcast into your group, onto your website, and all sorts of places. So there's another one. Your own Facebook group. Now, a couple of you have mentioned that you've got groups already. Love a Facebook group. Clearly, here we are in one now. It's a great way of building a place where, as the leader of that Facebook group, you can bring people towards you at sort of any point in their journey, in their buying journey. You know, they might not even know they're wanting to buy, but you can bring them towards you. You can share the stuff that you share, do the thing that you do, knowing that the people who are in front of you in your group are already interested. They already have a reason to be there. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. They would just go. So you can start to build your own, that whole know, like, and trust. They need to know you, they need to trust you, and they're going to need to like you. That makes a sale so much easier when it's ready. Now, you can use a group in so many different ways. You can use it as a membership group that people pay to be part of, so that you give really good quality content to that group on a regular basis and they're paying to be in there. Most common ones are obviously the free ones, where you can still give that value and share what you know to be what it is you do. The key part to that is then having the offer, building to the point of having the right offer for those people and being able to then present them with that offer when the time is right. Before I lose these comments, let me just read these. Remy says, what do you think of hashtags? Yeah, so I'm not a massive Instagram user. Hashtags are used by some people just totally over the top. Like, I get that there's a link then that you can create. I would say, use a few if you want to. Certainly if you're on Instagram, then you can link with those, and that sort of creates that almost like that arc across all your different platforms. But it's entirely your preference. If you think, again, that your ideal client is going to search on a hashtag or follow hashtags, use them. But if you don't, and you don't think your ideal client will, don't use them. There is no rules, is there? It's social media at the end of the day. Which app would you recommend for podcasts on your phone? Anchor. Anchor is by far the best one, and it is so easy. Anchor has got a load of little audios that you can use, like funky bit of some music at the beginning, and then you put your bit in the middle, and then you can even put a little bit of audio at the end as well. And you can record like standard closing and standard opening, so you sort of create this little menu of everyone's got the same opener, the same bit of music, then you do your thing, then the same close and the same bit of you speaking. So really easy. Anchor, ANCHOR, really easy, that one. Okay, so podcast, own Facebook group, we've said. Your own Facebook page, we've mentioned that. You've got to have your calls to action on there. Be consistent, be really clear. Don't make it hard for people to find information, not ever. They get bored and they'll be gone. Make it super clear across your cover picture, across your description of what you do, and post on there regularly as well. So it isn't just but there's no posts relating to what you do. You didn't post on here for a year. Keep posting onto your own profiles as well. Same for your Instagram. A blog is a great way of keeping up your content, keeping your content refreshed. And let's be honest, it's just kind of a download of your thoughts, isn't it? You can make it whatever you like. You can make it serious, you can make it funny. People are really interested in people. Like, they want to know what someone's like. They want to know whether or not they like tea or coffee or biscuits or chocolate or cheese. Or it makes you more human. So don't be afraid to almost sort of let the guard down a bit every now and again in your content, because it makes you more real, doesn't it? It makes you more human. So when I do these like organised things, like I'm properly rehearsed, I'm properly ready, I've got a face on, But you'll still see my lives where I've just come back from a run and I look like a tomato, or I'm out for a dog walk, and you know, it's about just being you. So almost defining that you do a blog really super seriously every time can be a bit stuffy and a bit boring for people. You know, keep the variety, tell people what it is you do, why you do it, give them the opportunity to see a little bit more of you as well. Much more interesting to read for everybody. I think you're not a techie person. Yeah, honestly, I'm not particularly either. Sort of a forced tech. Can add a video in Instagram. Yeah, you can do those little stories, can't you, in Instagram? They're just those little snippets. Monica's laughing. I'm not sure what. As in a live. Oh, my tomato comment. Yeah, I do go like a tomato. Attractive tomato though, I think. No, I look like my face is going to explode when I've done running. Okay, that was your blog. Right, this is a good one, and this takes a bit of bravery. What about phoning a local radio station to share with them something that you've done, you've researched, you've written, something about what it is you do? Now, the reason that I say radio station is, you know, when we talked about magazine and said, you know, you can give them some content, you might fill a little piece. A radio station has got airtime to fill, particularly the smaller, like local radio stations. They've got a lot of time that they need to fill in the day. So even if you could fill like 5 minutes with a quick interview about something that you've done, something that you feel passionate about, something that you want to tell the world about, if you could fill that bit of time, then suddenly you've taken a job away from them. So literally the simplest way, find out which is your local radio station and phone them up. Phone them up and say, this is me, I do this. I'd be interested in being interviewed about this, or, you know, there is something unique about what you do and the way that you do it. I can guarantee it. So find it and make the call. And now you're not just going to be able to get away with just phoning once and go, oh, I've done it now. Phew, done it. Oh, they didn't ring me back. You got to keep on it, because there's a whole host of people probably using the same thing. But keep ringing. Change it slightly. If they didn't contact you about you positioning what you did in one way, change it and phone them back. So, oh, actually, I've done this now. Find a way that you can tie it in maybe to something that they do already. They might do a regular slot on, I don't know, Rima for you fitness. So how to keep active in lockdown. They might do a slot on that, and you could get a little piece on that. Doesn't take much, but that adds a huge amount, not just for reach, but also for credibility and frankly for your confidence. If you can get the validity for you and your business of being on a radio station, bang, that's me, I've done it, I've made it, look, I was interviewed by so and so on the BBC, and you know, all your friends and family is going to listen, aren't they? So that's a really good way, and you know, it's quite a quirky way as well of being able to say, yeah, I've been on the radio, and here's my little audio, drop it into your podcast, link them all together. Okay, so all your content posts should have a call to action, but I will caveat this, that when you post into other groups, of course some of them don't allow you to put your call to action because they then won't be approved. So it's about giving that content and being able to give value without needing to put that call to action on. Now clearly there is places you can put your call to action, so you can whack it on your own profile, you can get it on all your own business page, your groups, your Instagram profiles, and all the things that are yours. But when it comes to that promotion piece, just be conscious of whether or not they say it. But if you don't say it on the post, when they click on your face and they go and look at you, it's up there anyway, so people know what to do. You could be an event speaker, or you could be a guest speaker. So you have your knowledge, you have your thing, and there's regularly people looking to share what they do. So I'm part of a group that is literally for people to be a guest or find a guest. So there's quite a lot of podcasters in there, but there's people that have Facebook groups as well. So they're looking for, again, content to give to their group. Now, that works really well. I've done it a couple of times in different groups that I knew that our content had some common ground, so we would probably share some ideal clients, but what they did was very unique to them, and what I do obviously is unique to me. But it's just a great way of being able to share what you do, become that expert. And even if it's a case of people saying, well, yeah, that's fine, but that's not for me, if they then have recognised you, you've resonated with them, you've given that value, then if somebody asks them, they might tag you, they might forward somebody towards your group if that's what you're asking people to do. And a lot of the time, if you're giving up your time to give value to somebody else's group, they are quite happy for you to promote yourself. It's not a just turn up and do your thing and then shuffle off. They will they'll more than willingly let you talk about what it is you do, what you want those people to do. So again, you're going to be really clear about how you want those people to interact with you. So is it come and join my group, check my Instagram, go to my website? What is it you want them to do? Be clear and be ready to do that. Excuse me. Showcase my fitness classes with sports awards and fitness experts. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, networking's brilliant. Whatever way that you can be that expert speaker. So I put as an online event in a Facebook group, on a podcast, but also YouTube. So if you're comfortable with video, if you've got your own videos that you could literally just whack onto onto a YouTube channel. So all mine go on there pretty much, so I've got a record of them. But you can trade off your expertise to somebody else. And again, people are regularly wanting content. It's interesting to see another face in a group, isn't it? And be interviewed, or be that expert that's got a different perspective on something that might have common ground. What if you want to sell something not as you? Oh, okay, like under your brand, do you mean? So it's not actually as yourself? I think it still applies. Yeah, if you're still representing something, you can still tell people what their required action is and kind of guide them through to that place of wherever it is you want them to go, even if it isn't as you. Add Zoom classes, videos to YouTube. Totally, you can add, yeah, it doesn't matter where they've come from. So when these finish, I literally download them and then I upload them into YouTube. So yeah, you can record on Zoom and upload it into YouTube. So then suddenly you've got your own YouTube channel. Then you've got loads of content already on there. So if people want to look back at something previously, make the descriptions quite clear so they know what they're seeing. But absolutely, yeah, don't repeat yourself. Repurpose all the way wherever you can. So yeah, absolutely, you can download your Zoom stuff and put it into YouTube. So YouTube channel, I've said. Website is an obvious one, but again, are you really clear about being able to manage what you want people to do? Because very often people create a website, but then it's 4 or 5 clicks to understand what it is I need to do as a potential client. Yes, you've got lots of opportunities to put your content on there, but is there a way that I can just buy if I'm ready? Is there a way that I can see what you offer? Make it clear and refresh it. It's horrible, and I feel so disappointed when you've kind of followed somebody or you've looked on one of their profiles on a social media, and then you go and have a look at the website and it just looks like the thing they set up because they felt they should, and it's old and out of date. If you can't commit to it, to the maintenance and the keeping the content refreshed, don't have one. They're not they're not a requirement. Let's be clear. Make sure you can keep up to date with it. So I have a batch of products that I want to sell, but I don't really want to promote it under my name. Yeah, different business name, create a pseudonym. Yeah, you could absolutely do that, promote it. It depends what the product is, I guess. I want to use a platform to collate information for membership subscriptions. I want to use a platform. So is that probably a website then? If you're going to but then you could fire people back out that you can link your website to your YouTube channel. So lots of options for memberships, and there's tools that are chargeable tools, but you can host membership sites on lots of different sort of tech tools as well, where people are paying a subscription for them. Okay, where have we got to? Charities. So charity association. So if what you do might be of interest to a charity and you're able to maybe even do like a little slot for them in terms of giving, again, your expertise. If you've got an audience through that charity and you're giving your time for free, then they will almost always allow you to promote, won't they? Now, yes, it's going to involve your time, it'll involve some commitment from you, but if you've got a sort of like a off the shelf, good to go presentation, you can go and deliver your thing and then promote them. You know, it's not costing you any more than your time. But if you're allowed to promote, again, they may not be your ideal target, but think about how what your product does might complement and help those people that might follow that particular charity. So again, we're back to that. Who's my ideal client? Where are their interests? Where are they coming from? And what outside, sort of, what other lanes could they be in other than just your lane? Super connectors, so they're like the influencers, the people who effectively have got like massive following, but again, you've got to pick those carefully, because you've got to be right for them, they've got to be right for you in terms of what their following's like. But if you can associate yourself with somebody who will then promote for you, then that's another way that you can just boost that. But you've got to be clear on what their profile of their followers are, and that it's got to tie in with your ideal client. A webinar or a masterclass, who knows what those are? I'm sharing content with you. I'm sharing what I do, what I know, and it's a great way of being able to give that value so that people get to know what you do, learn things, they see value in what they're getting, and it's totally free for everybody involved. Yes, there's time to prepare and you've got to deliver it, but you know, it is a platform for you to then provide what you do and get people to understand more about how you might be able to help them. Doing a challenge, 2 weeks ago we did a challenge, we did a week. Again, same principle as a masterclass, it's getting that content out there, it's building that trust, telling people what you do and how you can help them. Call from an Instagram, yay, big influencer, yay. I'm just checking I haven't missed any crucial questions. Here we go. Socia says, create a whole new profile. If it's really not linked to what your main business is, I think I'd just be nervous to almost confuse your brand, because you almost want to get to the point where you're recognised for your main thing, and if you're doing other things as well, people really easily get confused about, well, I thought you sold that and now you're selling this. So if it's not something you're going to continue to do, then is there an easier way to, I don't want to use the word dispose, but move them on, where you might be able to sell them wholesale, or you might be able to sell them something else. But if you're wanting to do this on an ongoing basis, then yeah, it might be worth almost having like a parallel business, but then you're not merging the two, because people do get really confused. You know, branding is it becomes you, and it should be representative of what it is you do. So just have a think about how that appears, again, from the eyes of your potential client for both sides. Yeah, that's great news, Rima, though, that you've got somebody. LinkedIn, we've seen that mentioned as well. Now, LinkedIn is subtly different to Facebook in that there isn't such a culture of groups. There are congregations of people, but it is much more considered the apparently professional network. But people are often there to either get jobs or to network and find people that they want to learn from, connect with and grow with. So it's very much offer your services. Obviously you've got your ability to put all your calls to action on there and to use those people that you're connected with. It's really one of those networks that the more you put in, the more you'll get out. So if you go and comment on somebody's piece, that you're likely to then see more from them, they'll see more from you. The people that are connected to them will see what you do. So the more that you can post on there, and it's repurposing, isn't it? It's about taking what you do on one platform, tweaking it very, very slightly and putting it on another, but making sure that that journey is the same. So where are you looking for people to go? Do you want to bring people from LinkedIn across into Facebook to manage them there? Do you want to go the other way? It's understanding where your clients are. Back to the very, very start, where are they? What are they doing? Are they on LinkedIn more than they're on Facebook or on Instagram? You've got to go to where they are, and you've got to know that is where they prefer to hang out. Okay, so then the last one is an affiliate association. So you can link to certain other associations, products, something that complements what you do, so that you've effectively got that tie, you've got that that consistency of these two things together really work well. So a fitness trainer might have an affiliation with somebody that does diet plans, or something for your house might complement something for your garden, you know, so they literally tie it together, and it sort of makes sense that they do. It's similar way to the Facebook groups, that if you can find something where there's common ground in terms of your ideal clients, then you know you're both talking to the same people, then you can actually have a sort of cross promotion of the two. That's my list. Is there any more that anyone else wants to add? Have you guys got any others that are on your mind that you think, oh, you know, you've not said this and I've had real success doing this? Because we've said lots as we've gone through. So is there any others that you want to add to the list? Because I've given you like a whistle-stop tour of, as I say, nearly 20 there. And if you can't think of any others, tell me which one out of all those we've just discussed are you now going to try? So I want you to pick one thing that you go, I've never thought of doing that before, or yes, I could totally do that, that works for me. Tell me what you can do with this now to start getting that message out in a different way. It might be that you're already using it as many as you want to, but you're going to change your message a little bit and talk to your client in a different way. So yeah, tell me while I slurp. It's getting dark. Not too dark. And then I've still got loads to tell you. What time are we? 9 o'clock. Is everyone still alive? You're still all with me. Okay, while they're coming through. So how I want to just wrap this up is around how to. So how do you apply this? Okay, Caroline, you're going to approach an affiliate business. Brilliant. Yeah. It's a great start, and you know, it's amazing how many things can then lead from one to another, and it can be like a bit of a wave. And this is about your time, but absolutely this is about you repurposing what you do. So you could take that list of nearly 20 and you could use the same thing probably in most of those. Yes, they're going to need a little bit of a tweak, but repurpose all the way. So you might write something which you say, right, I can do a podcast on that now, so you're not reading it but you're using the same content. I can use it across there. I can do a visual post for Instagram, I can do a LinkedIn post, a Facebook group, do it here, put it in the groups. I can do loads. You can do it the same with the same content, absolutely. So who's going to do what? Kirsty, magazine article, brilliant. Yeah, just needs a little bit of research as to which magazine, so where for your ideal clients, what are they reading, what are they subscribing to possibly. You're going to investigate LinkedIn a bit more. Yeah, that's come through twice. Podcasts, to do a podcast, yeah, brilliant. They're great fun. I did one for a good while. I loved it actually, but I like talking, you can tell, can't you? And I would sit there thinking, oh no, I've got that podcast to record, I really don't want to. Oh, I can't bother. And then do it and think, oh, I love it. I don't know why I put it off. I like it. Plus it means you can do it in your pyjamas. Short videos. Try short videos. So you've not been doing any video or lives yet. That's a great step, because it's different, isn't it? You guys are all chatting to me. I'm chatting to you sat here live. I can't see any of you, but it feels different when you can see the person. There's so much more connection there. Yeah, absolutely. Video is how people are consuming so much content now. It's quicker, it's much more personal. Articles, radio, yeah, it sounds like you've got a few leads anyway. Approach photographers, wedding party planners, macrame wedding curtains. Wow, that sounds amazing. Articles, radio, blog, yeah. So don't spread yourself too thin. You've got to add genuine depth to what you do, and if you're trying to do all of those, you know, you'd never sleep, would you? So just pick a couple and really try and go to town on those few. But as I say, you're repurposing anyway, so if you can repurpose across a few channels and then really concentrate on another one which you're going to explore, that's the best way, rather than spreading yourself really thin. Bride magazine publications, you need to be braver. Yeah, it is. It does feel like that when you first start, but honestly, the more you do, it just becomes a thing, talking to yourself on the screen. But yeah, it is big, and for some people it's one of those things that they just never feel like it's going to feel normal, and the best way to try and make it feel normal is to do it loads. And the more you do it, the more normal it feels, and you'll find that you sort of get into a groove, and you know, the first ones you do are all a bit stilted and a bit, but then you just relax and you drink beer whilst you're on your lives. Right, so how are we going to do this? You've got some new rules of engagement. Daily. You should be visible daily. You should be doing something every single day, but you can choose what that is. You don't have to do them all. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 10, you can do 20, but do something every single day, because unless you're visible, you're invisible. And if you're invisible, your clients aren't going to find you. Your clients aren't going to know you're there. They're not going to know what you do. You're going to be not even featuring on their radar. So you've got to be seen. You've got to be visible as much as you possibly can. Try and be concise, she says, going into like an hour and 10 minutes. Try and be as short and sweet as possible. Now, some people really like the long, wordy posts, but some don't. So imagine you've got to appeal to both. If you can get a higher volume of content out, but a lower volume, do that. So say you sit down, you say, right, I'm going to write something about the thing that I do, and you write this massive thing. You just like, it all flows out of you and it all comes out. Chunk it down rather than putting people off by big chunky pieces of content, because then you get loads of content fodder for next few days, don't you? You get, well, there's 5 days worth of content right there. Chunk it down. Visuals work really well, you know, being able to attach a visual to something you've written. Obviously in Instagram that's big. So wherever you can, try and be concise. Wasn't talking to you, Rima. I'd already written it on my piece of paper. And be consistent. Be consistent about what you're saying to people. Be consistent about the messages that you're conveying. Be clear on what it is you do, how you help people, what you want to do with them, what the problems are you solve, how you do it. Keep saying the same thing over and again, because 9 times out of 10 people haven't heard it before. Don't assume you're getting annoying, because if you're getting annoying, you're also getting through to those that are starting to follow you, and they do understand what you do, and when they need you, there you are. They know who to come to. So be consistent. Keep reinforcing that message of what it is you do. Be you. We've touched on this. So there's things that people need to know clearly about your business, but also people will buy from people, won't they? They want to feel that they already know you. They want to feel that they trust you. And so don't just hide behind amazingly edited copy that you've spent 2 hours doing and working on. The beauty of lives is that you've got to be authentic. You've just got to turn up and do your thing. So if you stumble over your words, or you don't know what to say, it's just you, and people go, oh, she's real, she's totally normal. Because do you know what, all these staged, like perfectly lit amazing things, it's not reality, is it? And it can put people off. Whereas actually just being yourself, rather than you thinking, oh no, but I'll just fluff it all up and it'll all sound dreadful, it can be really endearing. Whether it's because you've got an accent, whether it's because you're quietly spoken, whether it's because you only ever want to do tiny little short things because you don't like talking, whatever it is, whatever is your thing, then just let it be, because for as many people as won't like it, there'll be people who love it. So it's about just being you, warts and all. Marissa Peer, don't know her, a great example of being authentic. Am I from Brum? Can you tell? Is it coming out every now and again? I'm not from Brum. I am from Staffordshire originally, but I've moved around and up and down and up and down, and when I get going, there's some words that come out. So I'm Warwickshire now, but I worked in central Birmingham for a number of years, so I know that there are some words that come out every now and again. But yeah, I'm Warwickshire now. Try and neutralise. Are you Birmingham now? I can properly do a Birmingham accent when I want to, and if I get a bit tired and I've had a beer or two, I can slur into Brummie. Right, so let's summarise before I go on to my final bit. So we have talked about your foundations, knowing who it is you're talking to is key, because you have to talk to them as a real human being, not a whole group of people who it might be them, it might not be them. Talk to them like you are talking directly to them. That is your first stage. You need to know, look, on my piece of paper got all out of order. You need to know where they are, and you need to go to them, so that you've identified them as an individual, you've gone to them, and you also know what it is they need. You know that you can help them with what you do, and you're absolutely able to connect with them on that level. We've been through lots of different, nearly 20 different methods that you can explore to take your message out there and really explore those different avenues rather than just sticking with one, because it helps you to just break that cycle a little bit as well. And you might find that you almost present yourself in a very slightly different way on one than you do on another, in which case you find a different way of kind of your voice almost, but I don't mean like podcast voice, like a way of expressing yourself, which might work really well across different platforms. So we talked about that. We talked about being able to show up consistently, being yourself, being genuine, and like giving some stuff away as well. And do you know, so let me just tell you that when I first started doing this, I came from corporate. I was in corporate for 20 odd years, and I was taught on numerous things to stand up and present to a room of people. I was always happy to do it, happy in front of a room of 200 people, happy in front of a board of directors, whatever. But I was trained very specifically to be able to do that, and it took a long time for me to like let that go. And this time, I know I'm in a coaching group now, and some of them say, "Oh no, you're still really corporate." I'm not, because I'm me. Like, listen, my accents come through. Being able to just be genuinely you takes time, particularly if you've got some preconceptions about, yes, but I need to this, and I need to speak in this way, and I need to do this, and it all just needs to flow. No, you just turn up and you just be yourself. Be that, because you're typing these words that might not be perfect grammar, or you might stumble over something. You're just being yourself, because as soon as you're just yourself, what you're giving is the value of what you know. It's giving the thing that you're good at. It's not distracted by saying, I must say it in this certain way, and I better not say that, and I better not let this come out. And you're distracted by all of that, rather than just chilling out and just being you and letting it come. That is the way that you can genuinely make many more connections with people. And that took me a good while. When I look back sometimes at some of my old videos, and yeah, I was like really proper, like, all right, I'm in work mode now, and this is how I'll do it. And they're nowhere near as good as the stuff I do now, because it isn't truly me. It's like the veneer of me in a way. So practice is the only way that it comes. And if you're doing lives and no one watches, when you first start off, great, because that means you're practicing, so that when people do start watching you on a regular basis, you've got it nailed, you're already more natural, it's already less forced, and it's easier to watch. So don't be worried that nobody is watching, listening, reading. Doesn't matter, it will come. You've got to do what we said. Be visible, be consistent, and be concise, she says at 9:15. Right, I have one more thing, which is very super exciting to tell you. So I have ridiculously quickly, I've created a new offering for you. So when we did the challenge, I opened the doors to my academy, which have now closed. They closed at the weekend. That was a 12-week program going through all the foundational elements of establishing a business, including tech, sales, marketing, loads. It's a really in-depth program. It's lengthy and it's costly. However, I recognise that there are lots of you that really want that help, but that was a stretch too far, particularly at this time. Hence, I've done this for you now to help you start to bring those clients in, to get that money flowing in and out, as we talked about. I have also created for you a Launchpad product. So it's called the Business Launchpad 555. The reason it's called 555 is that it is 5 weeks, 5 topics, and 5 coaching calls So it is effectively the core elements of what you need. So I sat again, plain piece of paper, and said, right, what did I wish I knew? What did I end up kind of not finding out until it was too late? What are those core elements that I need to get my business going as quickly as possible? So I gave everything to the academy, and I've pulled out just the core elements of, if I could give you nothing else, what would it be? That's what it's got. So you get 5 weeks of me, you get 5 weeks of group coaching, you get a heap of content available to you through a members area, so you can access it as and when you want, and you bring your questions and queries to those coaching calls, so we work through them together. It is specific to your business, so you're not doing research, you're not doing work on a theoretical course or something that you can't transfer. You are working on your business and building those foundational elements so that you're starting to attract clients, you're starting to create your marketing message, you're identifying in huge detail who you want to work with, what you're going to offer them, and how you're going to get those clients. So that is, it's online, all the training is online with those 5 coaching calls a week. Now this is starting the week after next, so the week commencing the 13th of July, that is starting. You can find out some more, thank you Monica, about 555 on a link which I'm going to drop into here. In fact, it might have even gone live into the group, so you can there's loads more information about what that involves and how you can register for that. Big question, well, how much does it cost? How much do you think it costs? It costs 555, of course. So it is a single payment of 555, or if you really need to, we can talk about a payment plan. You can book online, and if you book online, you get immediate access to a mini course. So the mini course that I talked about at the beginning, the Getting Started, which has got the 2 modules, if you book online and pay that 555, you get access to that immediately, so you can be starting to work through that even before the actual program starts. I've opened my diary again to have conversations with you if you want to, either to put a payment plan in place or to discuss any more detail about whether or not you're right for that, what it involves in any more detail. Then happy to discuss it. But this is it is like the super slimline version to really absolutely skyrocket you as quickly as we can possibly do it for the best price I can possibly do it, so that you're getting me for that time each week. The calls last as long as the calls need to last. They're not agendaed. You bring your questions, you bring your queries about your business, and everyone learns together from one another, and we move on through that process together. So as I say, we start 13th of July, we'll go through to the end of August pretty much, but then you're done. You've got all those foundational elements. You can keep the training, you get worksheets to do the research and to do the work and to do the thinking around your business, and then you get those weekly coaching calls. Huge value, huge course, and I hope this hits for you. So there is a link going live. Check out the link with lots more information. You can book there and then, or as I say, you can book the call for me if you want to discuss it. So that is it from me, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Any other questions, any comments, type them in quickly now. Let's see, let's just double check. Any questions I missed? Or there was a little thread. I need to check that when we come off. Looks like you guys have had a thread that I can't see because they all just come through in order. Someone's saying yes please, don't know what that's to. Thank you so much for the training. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Monica says it sounds amazing. Facebook profile is closed. Oh, there we go. There's a schoolboy. Yeah, you need to absolutely have your Facebook page open because it limits what people can see. So when we talked about the keeping your cover with your call to action on, make sure that your profile is open so people can see. Would you mind add comments to this post about my group Reband logos? Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, you did. You posted in some visuals as well. Really useful, thought-provoking. Absolute pleasure. Okay, I'm going to assume there are no questions. If there are any more, post them in this thread anyway, and I will get back to them. I will look at them all when we're done. So thank you so much for staying with me for an hour and a half. I'm going to finish my beer and have a little rest, and I will see you all tomorrow morning's live, by the way. Coffee chat every Thursday, for those of you that don't know, every Thursday without fail, 10:30, different topic every week. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about return on investment, so being able to establish how to kind of get yourself to the point of understanding what you need to put in to get out, and start to look a little bit more commercially about your business and quite scientifically. So I'm going to take you through that tomorrow morning. Loads of thank yous coming. Brilliant, lovely. Thank you so much for staying, everybody. I will see you tomorrow morning. All right, see you later. Bye.